What's up, comic book fans? Welcome to a special review episode. We're going to start doing a little bit more review action of comic books and things like that. As always, I am one of your two co-hosts, Matt. Alongside me is Lauren. We are Hops Geek News. Welcome to the party. Today we're going to review Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles meets Stranger Things. It is a pretty fantastic comic book written by Cameron Chittick, and art is by Pharaoh Pei. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. If I'm not, somebody please yell at me. Anyways, if you want to find us, Hops Geek News, any podcasting platform, any social media platform, that's where you can find us. And then, if you want, we just kicked off the Nerd Initiative bullpen. I am writing comic book reviews for the Nerd Initiative. Go to nerdinitiative.com, check out my reviews, all of that good stuff. And yeah, I have a beer for this segment. It is called Rule 4080. Number 1, by extension, a rule reminding not to trust anybody whose actions in a particular situation are driven by the urge to make money. Now, this is a 5.2% hazy pale ale with citra hops, and it comes all the way from San Antonio, Texas, and Weathered Souls Brewing Company. As you can see, if you're on our YouTube checking out a review, they're pretty easy, plain can. Look at the juice, give me the juice. And yeah, so my friend Raphael, his dad sent me some beers from Weathered Souls. Shout out to beer friends, man. Yeah.
And what a perfect name for this episode.
That's also why I chose it. Because my good beer bro in life, Raphael, also had a play in this. So talking Ninja Turtles, right? You gotta make it all connect.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
What you got?
So I have a beer from Tactical Brewing, and I have no haze. If you can see in the video, it is super duper clear.
Yeah.
And I didn't think this was related at all. I just got it at Tactical. It's called Hop Cult, and it's a West Coast IPA with Citra, HS Grove, and Cashmere Lupo Max hops. Ooh. And it is 7%. And I'm looking at the can as I just sat down because I had it at the brewery. I liked it, so I grabbed a 4-pack. And there are people that look like they're levitating, much like people were levitating in Stranger Things. So
that's a good pool.
There you go. It's Chrissy and it's Max, and I'm just going to pretend it's them.
Hey, I'm down for it. I still owe you a box. Every time I do this, I'm like, I keep forgetting.
I do too, so we're fine.
Anyways, yeah, let's dive into this. So Stranger Things meets Ninja Turtles is going to be a limited run from IDW and Dark Horse. If you don't know what they're doing over there, by all means, please check it out. Fantastic stuff coming out of both companies right now. And of course, this picks up in New York City with our Stranger Things cast going on like a field trip of sorts. And of course, you know, Mike, L, Dustin, and crew, they get separated from the field trip. So they go down a sewer, and that's where they see.
Yes. There's no supervision in the 80s. So this takes place in 1985. So it does. Prime Ninja Turtle vibes, prime Stranger Things supposed to happen vibe. No leashes. It was a free-for-all back then. I don't know how any of us survived.
New York was a wild time, man. And they go down the sewer, as children do in the big city, right? The Big Apple, of course. Because Dustin, it piques his curiosity, and they were all so happy to get out of Hawkins. Oh man, we're out of here. We're never going to think about that place. Well, that's what they thought. Because there are Demogorgons in the subway, and Elle steps in to start using her powers, and that's when the Ninja Turtles arrive, and some action ensues. I'm not going to go any more into that, but this sets up a pretty solid run. And what was your first initial reactions to when you first cracked the book open, all that good stuff?
Well, so I grabbed the book because you grabbed it. And obviously, when I saw this at first, I'm like, that's funny. It seems like, okay, this is going to be something for little kids. But then I opened it and I instantly, obviously, I like Stranger Things and it takes place in the 80s. And, I was more of a kid in the early 90s, late 80s, but I grew up on Ninja Turtles. And it immediately just gave me childhood vibes. It was very just nostalgic. So it was really kind of cool that they combined something that is from the 80s with a show that takes place in the 80s. And it works really well. So I'm excited to keep reading this. I'm fine if we spoil the first ones when we do these reviews and get people hooked.
Yeah, I don't know how much you. A little spoilers. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. And there's a really cool splash page on this where it's the turtles fighting. If you're on YouTube, I showed it. However, we'll share some images, of course. But there's a really cool splash page down there where each turtle's kind of going at it, and Mike's just kind of like, "Elle, was that you?" And she's like, "Nope." And again, you get that Saturday morning cartoon vibe right from the get-go. That's what I miss in comics. Obviously a lot of comics give us that, but not all of them these days. And just a good old Saturday morning cartoon, because who knows when we're going to get Stranger Things again at this point.
Yeah.
Right? And then
I was telling that to my daughter today.
That's right. Yes. Dude, they might be 45 years old by the time, but it's okay, because I'm willing to wait as long as people get paid fairly.
Yes, 100%. And what's funny is there's this video, and I had seen it before, and somebody recently reshared it. And I think it's somebody who works on the Stranger Things show. And they're like, when people say that our actors look too old to be in high school, and then he shows video of actual teenagers in high school in the 80s, and they look like they're like 35.
It is kind
I
of
don't know
funny,
if it's
yeah.
the hair or the makeup or the clothing or just a combination thereof, or maybe I don't know, they put non-aging stuff in the
Yeah.
water these days. I'm not sure, but yeah.
It is funny because when you look back, they definitely are. Yeah, you're right. Pictures and things like that. It's got to be the clothes, and also parents were smoking indoors back then and aging
Oh
their
my
children.
gosh, seriously.
But anyways, back to the comic. Yes, the dust settles, and both sides they're kind of like wary of each other, right? Elle used some powers that the turtles saw, and they're like, "What?" And then of course these teenagers who should not be really taken aback by Stranger Things. Ha ha
But
ha. Yes, they are kind of taken aback by the turtles, and they're like, well, "What are you?" And so they end up going back to their hangout, where Master Splinter arrives and kind of talks like, "Guys, set aside your things, and you're both weird things, man. We're just weird. Don't call us this. Don't call us that. Leave the mice out of it." And they break up into teams at the end and kind of split off, and that's where our story is going to be setting up for the next issues on to go find out what's going on. And of course, at the end, because
did
Mike
end on
and
a
Elle, yes,
a
it
cliffhanger,
ends
but
on
maybe
a
we should leave
nice.
that one non-spoiler.
Yeah, we'll leave that non-spoiler. There's a cliffhanger at the end of this book, and which also sets the tone for what else is going on. But honestly, man, the art is really, really cool. The turtles are really well drawn. The humans are
Yes,
well
they look
drawn.
like the old turtles.
Yeah,
They don't look like the CGI newer turtles. Like they look like the turtles we all grew up on.
exactly. They really do. And then the writing itself is fun. It captures. They do a really good job of capturing
Capturing their
the.
personalities.
Yeah, because you're clashing personalities, although you're not really clashing personalities because the kids from
No.
Stranger Things, and then they're all teenagers, right?
Yeah.
So they
It's true.
all there's even a part in the beginning where they go to eat some pizza. Dustin and the crew are like, "Let's go eat some
Oh,
pizza."
I didn't even pick that up. And he's like, it's
Yeah,
never too, they're like, it's 8 in the morning and it's never too early for a New York slice.
exactly.
There you go. There's your Michelangelo.
So they both kind of just they connect right off the bat, and then of course they're like, "Hey, you come with us. You're the smart ones of the group. I can already tell." And then, "Hey, you come with us." This kind of deal, and really sets it up. And I'm excited to read more of this. Like I said, it's a limited run, so you're not going to get a lot of issues. But one thing that I don't know what it is about the Ninja Turtles, they just cross over so well with all these properties. You get like Ninja Turtles meets Batman, and Ninja Turtles meets whomever it may be. Power Rangers, for example, they just had a run of that. It's no matter who it is, they just mesh so well together. It's crazy.
This is the first Ninja Turtle comic I've read, period. But I loved having Splinter come in and give the speech. And did you notice the next issue, the picture for the next issue? It looks like the cover of Ninja Turtle Secret of the Ooze. Like
Yes,
where
yes, it
they're
does.
so yeah, I'll show this on the YouTube, but that was my initial thought was like, that's the movie poster from the 90s.
Yes,
But
and
it's just darker and more colorful and and it's not the ooze. It looks like they're going into the upside down.
there's a lot of different covers too out there right now. They have a lot of different variant covers, which I would highly recommend. People like Jorge Corona, Sarah Stern, Gene Woodall, Adam Gorham, all sorts of really talented artists are out there, and they do a lot of really cool art. So go check out the variant covers if that's your thing too. And yeah, make sure you pick up the next issue. Follow this along. If you're a fan of just cartoons, Ninja Turtles, Stranger Things, a lot of people are starved for that content. So hey, by all means, pick up a comic book, man. Go out, support your local comic book shops, support your local writers, small time writers, and let's make this happen.
Yeah.
Any
And they
I will
any what?
say my final ratings. I'm going to give it a final rating because we started a rating system in case you missed it, and it's out of 5 cigars because
Let's say this should be
Wolverine.
slices.
I'm
But
going to go
yeah.
ahead. I'm going to straight up say it's a 4.5 out of 5 cigars for me.
You know, I will give it that because my expectations were also, I thought it was going to be more geared toward kids, but they did a really good job also of not ignoring the stuff the kids are going through in Stranger
Yeah,
Things. Like you see some of that PTSD and when they're like, oh, we just wanted to escape the upside down. And I think it was Will's like, the upside down's everywhere. No matter where
yeah.
you go,
He's like
the
you
upside down is
please.
there.
There's
Yeah.
no like turn on, turn off point. It's everywhere.
Right. It's not just in Hawkins, it's literally everywhere.
Yeah, which is that kind of naivety.
Traumatizing.
I mean, poor Will gets kidnapped every time, so I hope he makes it through this unscathed in a way. And maybe they'll give Will something to do because he's always getting kidnapped.
I know. And he was probably one of the lesser characters in this. Like he's more of a background character. He's in
Oh
it a
yeah,
lot, but he's still in the background.
absolutely. Well, yeah, that was our review of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Crossing Over Stranger Things. It's been out for a couple weeks. Go check it out and make sure you add this to your pull list for the subsequent weeks coming up. Tune in next time as we will have some more fantastic comics for you to check out and for us to review. Go to our TikTok in the meantime, where I've been reviewing some comics at this point. And make sure you check out all of our episodes by searching Hops Geek News. We release weekly episodes. Next week is going to be Jaws 2 with our good friend Charlie. And man, it's going to be a good one. Tune in. Peace.